Okay, hello Cloud Gurus and welcome to this lecture. This lecture is on Kinesis and we're going to go ahead and set up our own Kinesis stream. So it is a lab and you're going to need to log into the AWS console, and the CloudFormation template that we'll be using is available in the resources section of the course. Okay, so I'm in the AWS console and I would just want you to go up and change your region to Northern Virginia, so US East 1, because basically we're going to be using a CloudFormation template and we want to make sure all the resources within that CloudFormation template are available. If you're using it in a newer region like London, for example, it might break the lab. So once you've done that, we need to go over to CloudFormation, and CloudFormation is under our management tools, and we click on CloudFormation. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a new stack. And we're going to, instead of using a template, we're going to specify an Amazon S3 template URL. Now I will paste this into the resources section of the course. So just copy and paste that link and then paste it into here. We'll go ahead and hit next. That stack, we'll give it a stack name of my Kinesis stack. And we'll leave everything else as default. If you want to use an EC2 key pair in order to be able to SSH into your EC2 instance that's doing both the data consumption and production, you can. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it as a T2 micro, and we're going to use the application archive, this GitHub link in here. That's contained within the CloudFormation stack, so you don't need to worry about getting that. We'll go ahead and hit next. Optionally, you can put in tags. I'm just going to leave everything else as default and go ahead and hit next, and we'll go ahead and create our stack. Now, don't worry about this error message up here. Just scroll all the way down, acknowledge that the CloudFormation is going to create IAM resources, and go ahead and hit create. And now what will happen is your CloudFormation template will start creating your Kinesis stack. And this can take anywhere for up to between 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to pause the video and wait for this stack to be created. Okay, so it says my status is create complete. If I just hit refresh and click on events, I can see all the different events that has happened within that stack. And now what we want to do is we want to click on outputs, and it's giving us a URL here. And this URL is essentially both our data producer and our data consumer. So it's both artificially creating the data, feeding it into Kinesis streams, and then it is essentially connecting back up and taking that data and consuming it. And if we actually click on the link, it will create this nice little graph. And so this is essentially just simulating the number of hits on different websites. It's not real data at all, it's just a simulation, and it's just using random numbers. But you can leave this running for a couple of minutes and see the visualizations, but essentially all you're going to see is these different lines moving up and down randomly across a time-stamped map. So I'm back in the console in the CloudFormation stack. Let's go ahead and have a look at what's been created. So we can go into EC2 and we'll be able to see our EC2 instance that is running. This EC2 instance, like I said, is both the data producer and the data consumer. If we go back over to here, and if we actually go down into Kinesis, so Kinesis is down the bottom and it's under the analytics section, and we click into Kinesis, we can see in here, if we go over to Kinesis streams, we'll be able to see our Kinesis stream. It says my Kinesis stack, Kinesis stream. We can actually click in here. This gives us all the details. So we've got 2 open shards right now. Our data retention period is 24 hours, and we can increase this up to 7 days or 168 hours. And then our shard level metrics are basically, instead of it being every 5 minutes, we're producing our metrics at every 1 minute if we were going to enable it. So very similar to detailed monitoring. If we click up into the monitoring section, we can actually monitor our shards now. So we can see what is going on inside our Kinesis stream. And you can have a look at all the different data there. And what it's actually doing is it's storing this data in DynamoDB. So if we come back here and go over to our DynamoDB database, you'll be able to see in tables. If you click in tables, you can see our different tables that have been created. So let's just click in this one. You can go over to items, and you can see in here the large amounts of items that is being stored every second inside our DynamoDB table. So this really is just a high-level overview of Kinesis to give you a little bit of hands-on experience. Really going into the exam, you're expected to know the difference between Kinesis Streams and Kinesis Firehose. You also need to know what Kinesis Analytics is at a high level. And that's about it. So now if you just click back over here, we're going to go and delete everything. So we just need to go back into CloudFormation, click on here and just go Actions and then Delete Stack. And we're going to go ahead and delete this stack, and all the resources that exist within that stack are now going to be deleted as well. So that's it for this lecture, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you see anything in your exam on Kinesis that you felt the course hasn't covered, please also let me know and I'll create additional content. But like I said, the two things you really need to understand is the difference between Kinesis Firehose, Kinesis Streams, and Kinesis Analytics.